You know that feeling, right? You're digging through folders, you're searching endless chats, you're just trying to find that one critical piece of information you need, like right now. But what if you could find any contract, any asset, any little piece of data in just, say, 3 seconds?
For so many businesses, the answer to this is a big yes. Think about it. Your most mission-critical processes, managing assets, tracking suppliers, onboarding employees, they all too often live in a place they've long since outgrown, a spreadsheet.
And this is what we call the spreadsheet struggle. It's that story we all know, where a great tool gets pushed so far beyond what it was meant for that it starts to create way more problems than it solves.
And look, don't get me wrong, tools like Excel and SharePoint are fantastic for certain tasks, absolutely. But as your data starts to pile up, as your processes get more complex and interconnected, they just start to break. Things get disconnected, security becomes a total headache, and scalability, it just hits a hard wall.
So what's the alternative, right? How do you manage all that complexity without having to write a single line of code? Well, that brings us to a much smarter way. And it's time to meet the hero of our story, the model-driven app.
So what on earth is a model-driven app? Well, to put it simply, it's a professional user interface that's built directly on top of a really powerful, super secure database, like Microsoft Dataverse. The key here is you don't build it from scratch, you just model it around the data you already have.
This chart really shows the huge shift. With spreadsheets, your data's totally flat and disconnected, but with a model-driven app, it becomes relational, interconnected. Your business logic goes from being manual and, let's face it, error-prone, to being automated and guided. Security gets incredibly detailed, and your ability to scale goes from being capped out to truly enterprise-grade.
Okay, so how do you actually build one of these things if you're not a developer? Well, the secret is that you're just building with simple, powerful data blocks. Here's the main idea. Just think of the database, so Microsoft Dataverse, as your hyper-intelligent filing system. The model-driven app is simply the custom front desk you create to talk to it. And the best part? It's all no code. We're talking drag and drop simple.
The app itself is put together from components you're probably already familiar with. You define your data in tables, you create forms to enter or look at data for just one item, you set up views to see lists of items, and then you build dashboards to get that high-level bird's-eye view of everything.
Okay, so that's all the theory. Let's see how this actually comes together in a real-world example. We're going to take a look at a complete asset management application that was built with this exact technology.
So when a user logs in, this is where they land, the dashboard. This is their mission control. They can instantly see what assets are available, what's been given out, and which requests are in progress. It's all live, it's all interactive.
Now, if you click on an employee, let's say Sandra here, it takes you to a form.